everybody. Welcome to the Talent Pool. I have to keep my live shows straight so I know what we're doing. Today, I am so excited because we are going to welcome Anthony Kormos to our live show, get to know the person behind the resume, and see if we can collectively pool our network to find him his next best, amazing dream job. So, with that, Anthony, come on out. We can't wait to meet you. How's
Hi,
it going?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
That's awesome. Now, where are you? Where do you live?
I live right outside of DC in Annandale, Virginia.
Oh, well, then we're neighbors because I'm in Richmond. So,
Okay.
and in fact, we do LinkedIn live, like live, not LinkedIn live meetups on a fairly regular basis. So next time we do one, I will let you know, and we can meet each other in real life, which is so exciting.
Sounds great.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I am really excited to talk to you because for a couple of reasons. First of all, just because you're cool as shit. And second of all, because you got laid off, but you're looking to do like a total kind of career pivot, which I just think is fascinating and amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about like what you've been doing before, and then we'll talk about what you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the last 3.5 years, I've been working in sales for a lot of startups in and around Virginia and on the East Coast. And I'm really tired of cold calling. I've also been laid off twice from these sales jobs, unfortunately. And last year, I did some soul searching, looked around to see how I would be able to pivot my career. And I took a boot camp through George Washington University on UX and UI design. So I did that. I gained a lot of skills there. And since I've been laid off, I've been working on portfolio for UX design. So I'm ready. I'm looking in the job market, but it's been difficult to get my foot in the door, unfortunately.
It's really, really tough, especially right now with all of the layoffs. It's so the startup world is near and dear to my heart. I teach entrepreneurship and venture creation at VCU, as well as our Masters of Product Innovation core, like one of those courses. And so all of this stuff, I'm just like I'm so excited for you that you have these opportunities. But working in sales for startups is hard. I've done it for years. There's not a lot of job certainty. You have to do like you have to wear every hat, but you learn a lot of really cool skills like gumption and grit and, perseverance and those types of things. But I have to know, like, do you have a very best sales call that you ever had whenever as you've kind of gone through your sales career?
Um, I've had a couple. I've had two. I've had two like older men from Chicago do almost a bit from the Muppets with the two old men are in the thing, but they're just arguing with one another about how the deal is. That was always fun.
That's
Meet just also just talking with people from all over the world. I was able to do a lot of I learned a lot about different cultures. Honestly, I was because it was e-commerce, and so because it was an
right.
international market, I had to call up a lot of people from there. So it was always fun to speak with them.
That's awesome. I love that. So like, I mean, listen, not every sales call goes well. I've had some really shitty ones. I've had some where I've hung up the phone and then called back and been like, "Can I have a mulligan?" Because I was real bad, like so bad. But some of the worst conversations, like some of the most exciting conversations that you can have, are like opportunities to join a new company. But some of the worst conversations also happen in not just sales calls, but also interview calls, which is kind of a sales call, right? But you had like a particularly shitty interview happen not too long ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, they basically told me that um, that all the young people that they've been recruiting so far just don't want it and don't have a fire, and that nobody wants to work really hard anymore. That they're looking for somebody that has that, and that this job is going to suck. That
Okay.
If you stay long enough, it won't cook. And yeah, it was just a weird attitude to kind of have in the interview room. So yeah.
It's so crazy. They're like, "Hey, you're gonna suck. This job is gonna suck. It's not gonna pay you enough to like only do this thing. Like, want to join
Yeah,
us?"
the guy, the interviewer had this job or a version of the job at some point, and they were bragging about how um, they had they had to get a second job while they were doing
Right.
it, and that should be the attitude people should have.
Holy shit. That's like, oh, that's so horrible. That's like being like, "Hey, I made you a steak. I didn't season it. I didn't cook it well. It's raw and it might have already gone bad. Would you like to try a bite of it?" Like, what the fuck is that? Um, that is crazy. So, well, but now you're looking to get out of the sales rat race and experience the UX UI world. What is it about that that calls to you?
Yeah, I've always just loved doing creative work. I think that's the stuff that I can find most fulfilling. And another thing is I'm somewhat of like a neurotic person. I get like little things can like maybe bother me a little bit if I'm sitting at a table and it's wobbly. I really need to fix that before I can finish the meal. But that works really well for UX design and trying to understand what other things people could be frustrated in when they're just trying to use some technology, all right, and get from A to B, so to speak.
Yeah, like makes sense. I'm not a detail person, so people like I also if you get a haircut or lose 100 pounds and I see you, I won't notice, right? Like that's not a thing. If the table's wobbly, I'll kind of notice, like I'll put my hand up against it to stabilize it for everybody else, but I won't fix it. I won't even acknowledge it. I'll just like sit there for the rest of the meal with one hand on the thing and one hand eating or whatever. Um, so okay, so you said you were working on your portfolio. What like do you have dream companies or dream projects that you'd like to work on?
Dream companies. I would love to work for, I don't know, anything that makes like some hands-on products would be awesome. I love Lego. I loved IKEA. I loved all these building companies. I would love to stay in e-commerce. But now that I'm thinking about it, if I could work with any company, it would be in hospitality. I would love to do work for hotels, for any kind of events. Both my parents worked in hospitality. I think experience design and that level of customer service kind of go hand in hand. You're trying to make an experience the best for a customer, and I think that works well, across the line. I'd love to work for someone like Hilton or Marriott, any of those kind of companies.
Yeah, very cool. Kimpton, go for Kimpton. They're like,
Hinton.
I think that they got bought by somebody, but they're still one of my favorite hotel brands. Um, and then the other side of things too is like sales is hard because it's really hard to like step away and kind of have a life and you seem to be at that age where it's like okay, I want to work, I want to do all, I have the gumption, I have the grit, but I also want to find work life balance and like go experience life while you can. If you if you landed your dream job, what is the first vacation that you would take yourself on whenever your PTO came up?
Yeah, so my whole family's from Hungary, so I would probably go back to Hungary, visit some family. I think that'd be the first on the list that I need to do. I was going to go right before the pandemic hit, and then when the pandemic hit, the border shut down, and the job market just kind of fluctuated a little bit too much for me to be able to plan. So that's first
Yeah,
on
that happens. Oh, Thomas Gray says
the
hi.
list.
He's from Kentucky. I don't know if you know him or not. We're from the same area of Kentucky, so we tongue in cheek call each other cousins because you never know down there. Um, Thomas wants me to take a vacation to Kentucky, but it's probably not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. But Hungary is amazing. Budapest is one of my all-time favorite vacation destinations. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. Do you did before the pandemic, did you get to go on a fairly regular basis, or would this have been like one of your first trips back?
No, I went back all the time. My family's not out of Budapest, but I did study there for about a semester. And I was able to visit family that were pretty close by too. So yeah, I'd been going pretty often before, but it's just one thing after another, unfortunately, to keep me from
Yeah.
going.
I
Yeah.
mean, that has been the last 3 years, right? Like, to sum it all up, um, we are cousins if you look back far enough, probably. Um, I feel like that sums up the last 3 years pretty well, which is it's complicated.
Yeah. Yeah. Good way of putting it.
Um, all right. Well, what else do you wanna tell us about, like, anything? We just wanna get to know you. Like, what do you do when you're not at work and when you're not fucking off to Hungary to go see your family and eat, like, the best food in the world? Sorry, everyone else in the world.
Well, since being laid off in the fall, I've had a lot of free time. So I've been trying to watch TV, watch all the shows that I haven't had time to watch beforehand, but I've also trying to been really active, which I feel like I didn't have a lot of time. So now, anytime I watch anything new on TV, I have to be on the rower. So that's like the rule I kind of set for myself. So I'm blazing through all these different shows and just keep growing for a couple, few hours just to make it feel productive. And that's
That
how
is
I've been clocking in and
awesome.
out every day. Yeah.
Do you keep track of how many meters that
No,
you row?
not at all. No, I'm just trying to. I don't know. I just want to feel healthy. It's a good buzz afterward, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I have a rower in my room, and also we call it the hot ass machine. It's like an assisted squat thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I I don't know. I'm a music listener when I row. That's my thing. If I'm gonna watch a show, I put it on my phone and then I like prop it up on my computer and I enter things into Salesforce while I'm watching it. So
I've tried before, but I think I get too hung up on selecting the next song. It's too much DJing I don't want to
okay.
worry about.
I get that. That's
Yeah.
cool. All right. So you're gonna be like the fittest, most cardiovascularly fit UX designer that anybody ever hires, I think, because it's a good full body workout. And then what's next? Like you took the boot camp course for UX. Are you taking other courses like on LinkedIn Learning or Skillshare or other boot camps that you're just kind of continuing to learn stuff?
So I'm very, very confident in my portfolio as it is. I believe it's very presentable. It's taken a lot of work with not just by myself, but with multiple teams. So I really think that it's ready to go in terms of these entry level positions that I've been looking for. But for right now, as the market has gone, I'm just gonna have to look for a band-aid job right now until I can get my foot in the door for the right place. So I'm either doing something in sales or some kind of sales support, and then once I'm able to get a hold of the right ear, I think I'll be able to go from there. But um, all that said, I'm very, very confident in the skills that I've developed through the boot camp and the journey that I've been on. I just need to stay confident and get my foot in the right door.
That's amazing. Well, where
Yeah.
can people find is your portfolio available for viewing? Like,
It's just
um,
anthonycormos.com.
anthonycormos.com. Maybe, Chris, do you think you could pop that into the chat so that we have it? And if y'all don't know behind the scenes today, this is why we didn't have technical difficulties, is because Chris is here running things. So if you don't know Chris Hennessy, he is my amazing lives producer and the only reason I can actually reliably go live on a regular basis, as was evidenced by the other day when I couldn't. There we go, anthonycormos.com. So y'all heard it here. The next up and coming UX UI designer. Check out his work at anthonycormos.com. Connect with him on LinkedIn. Where else can they find you? Are you an IG person or?
No professional IGs.
Okay.
Anthonycormos.com would be the best one. And if you need to email me, it's just anthonycormos.ux@gmail.com.
Amazing. All right, y'all. Well, let's wrap our collective arms around Anthony, find him some opportunities at a super cool hospitality organization or somewhere else where you think that he'd be a great fit, dipping his feet in and learning the ropes with UX, UI design. If you don't have an opening, then connect them with someone who might know somebody who might know somebody. This is like the Kevin Bacon effect, y'all. And I'm really excited to see what comes out of this. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to get to know you. I'm going to have to get on my rower because you made me feel like a bump on the log. And let me know how I can help, because we're here to do whatever we can to find you your dream job.
Awesome. Thanks so much, April. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. And y'all, if you need a job or you know somebody who needs a job and wants to come on the talent pool and let us get a glimpse at the person behind the resume, please, please, please send them my way. We're trying to help as many people as we possibly can, and impact as many lives as we can. All right, y'all, we will see you. I'll see you this weekend, maybe with some tips and tricks, and then we'll see you next week with some new guests.